Hey there, welcome in. If you don't know me, I'm Cookie and Stream, and I love building fun things in Pokopia. Today, we're exploring a greenhouse and shop build that I've made for my pallet town. We'll tour the build first, and then I'll give you a list of all the blocks you need to create the frame of the build. Once we've got the whole thing standing, we'll go in and decorate. Let's go! For this build, I wanted to make something that felt very airy and welcoming, like a small town mom and pop garden store. So, it's a pretty small interior, with some open air areas outside that you can walk through. The greenhouse is on the top floor since it just makes sense for the plants to get the most sun up there, and it's super compact. They've got every type of crop in Pokopia growing, and the string lights look magical at night. Around the front and sides are some more flower displays and a bit of messy storage out of the way. Tucked in the back under the stairs is a workbench and storage chest for quick access. But there's one more secret to this small shop. If you climb the ladder to the side of the patio area, you'll find a secret relaxation area that gives a great view of the surrounding area. Unfortunately, I don't have too much to look at yet, but we'll get there. Without further ado, let's get to the build. Most of the building will be sped up for time's sake, but I'll also slow it down when we're changing materials or parts of the build, because I know I can be a little erratic with that sometimes. Here's a list of everything you'll need to create the building itself. Now, a few of these materials I ended up switching out for others on the list during the build, but mostly this is an accurate count of what sort of blocks you'll need to have ready. I haven't listed any decoration blocks, mostly because it's fun to decorate things how you want. If you like how I decorated, feel free to use the same decorations I do in the video. We'll start with the cobblestone foundation and building up the wooden support pillars that go all the way up to the greenhouse. Then we'll start laying the patterned walls of the building. This texture is so cute, and I knew as soon as I saw it that I'd be using it a lot. Build up the walls around where our windows will eventually go, and then we can lay down our upper trim for the shop. You'll see me make a few mistakes here. While I do edit out large periods of thinking for time, or large mistakes to eliminate confusion, I'm definitely not perfect. That was a snack break. We're probably going to need to take a bunch of those throughout the build. Now that we've got most of the shop walls up, it's time to add the decorative partitions that give the section under the greenhouse some depth. It took me a long time to figure out how to make this look less like a box, but what I learned is these partitions are great for adding excitement and depth to a build. Outline the interior sections of the decorative partitions with plain plaster wall. Once we add those, we'll top off that decorative section with some more lower stylish wall blocks to form the bottom of the actual greenhouse. After that, We move down a little bit to add the stylish upper walls to the secret terrace area. Go ahead and fill in that small area with the same blocks as well. The nice thing about these stylish wall blocks is that the square wooden outline pattern that's visible from above and below will neatly come together no matter if you use an upper, lower, or middle block. So if you run out of one type but need to fill in an area, you can use another type in the center as long as the sides aren't showing. Now we're going to line the interior of the decorative wall blocks we added as the bottom of the greenhouse with cobblestone wall. After that, we'll frame out the top of the greenhouse by building up the wooden support pillars even higher, and then connecting all of them with the upper stylish wall blocks. Changing gears a bit to fix a mistake. Go down to inside the covered lowered area and remove the partitions, then replace them with a stylish wall block. I used middle ones, but it actually doesn't matter, especially since the ones that face the outside will eventually be replaced with plaster wall. Oops, this is where some of my block counts go a little muddled. Continue the front of the building's decorative pattern across the hidden terrace area. This is where I realize I should have put down plaster walls and not stylish walls for this front row, since the decorative partition pattern will look muddy if there's stylish walls behind it. Don't worry, we'll fix how the side of the building looks later. Add a wooden support beam here. Now, we're going to add a trellis on this open side of the lower building using, you guessed it, the wooden partitions. It will eventually go the whole way up to those blocks we're leaving open, but I left them for now because I knew I'd need to fix them later. We also need to continue that stylish wall line of blocks across this back area too. For the partitions, this area only gets an outline of a trellis since it's the doorway to the stairs up to the greenhouse. Do the same trellis outline to the front open doorway too. Grab your bridge planks and head inside the shop so we can cover the ceiling with them. This is for two reasons. It makes it so any wireless transmitters we did place above are mostly hidden, and it fills in the gaps that you'll see are created by the lack of another block being diagonal from the decorative partitions. I placed mine in an alternating pattern because I think it looks nice, but you can place them all one direction too. Next, we head outside to the covered area to fill in the 2x4 ceiling in front of the shop door with stylish blocks. Grab your dirt and diagonal flooring. Freeze. You'll see a whole section here I cut out where a combination of plaster walls, mini generators, and wireless transmitters were placed under the cobblestone outline. That's because I didn't realize at this point that while the wireless transmitters would be fine to be hidden like this, the mini generators apparently don't fill their whole space, and so water can get through them. This causes a big problem later on when we're trying to fill the canals for the greenhouse. So don't do what I did. Leave out the generators, keep the wireless transmitters. We'll place more generators in a less disastrous location later. I got the smart idea to finally use Magnemite's bulk placement feature here and put all the dirt down at once, but it ends up backfiring because our greenhouse has canals of water in between crop rows, so just place them one by one. Note that the center rectangle of dirt has 2 rows. Place the wooden bridge planks over the canals, but don't close them up yet. We'll need to fill them with water later. Next, we'll head down to the shop interior and place our diagonal flooring. We actually can use the multi-place feature here. After that, grab all the skylights you have as well as the windows. You'll notice 6 of my skylights are randomly unpainted. That's because there's almost no difference between the skylight frame painted brown and unpainted. Still, I would know. so I went and got smear guru to paint them before I placed everything. Once back from that, we're going to place all our windows at once, and then all the windows for the greenhouse walls too. Unfortunately, Magnemite's multi-placement feature does not work for windows, so you'll have to place all of them one by one. It's super satisfying when it's done though. Make sure you leave a space for the door. Then, place your skylights as the roof. I like to place each row alternating on either side so I don't misjudge where the peak of the roof lands. Now, we're placing a trellis structure with wooden partitions on the sides of the roof, since we don't have any glass corner roofs. I quickly pop down to the secret terrace and add one of the bridge planks. Then we grab our walkways and place the unpainted ones outside the shop in the same alternating pattern as the bridge planks on the ceiling of the shop. A few more of them go outside of the enclosed area, and then we switch to the painted ones for the stairs so we can better match the wall pattern. When those are placed, go ahead and put partitions underneath them so the stairs look a little less floaty, and place the stairs as well. Here we start placing the stepping stone path up to the entry, though you'll see a little later that I remove some of the stepping stones in the entryway later, as we'll be replacing the grass with cobblestone. Next we put down the door to the shop. Don't worry about it not fitting correctly right now, but do make sure that when you open it the door swings towards the wall and not the counter. This is where I realized that I need some of the stylish middle walls for the interior of the build, so I'm swapping out some ceiling tiles for those. We'll come back to those later. For now, we're placing down a little nook here so the door fits properly, and we're using the stylish wall pieces that match the rest of the room. Then zip up to the top and put down your door to the greenhouse. Let's place the awnings. I decided mid-build that while the orange and white colored awnings look good, I wanted to be a bit extra and make mine rainbow. Honestly, any solid colors look good for this build. I did try a blossom pattern at first on these, but I think it was a little too busy for how the outside looks. Now we place down some planters to start spicing up the secret terrace in front of the building. The one planter I delete here actually should have been a hedge. My bad. 3 planters also go inside the shop. Here we are removing the stepping stones I shouldn't have placed in the entryway and then repaving that area with cobblestone. I'm one short for some reason, so I'll go and fill that in later. At this point we're grabbing our wooden dividers and building up a little partition at the back of the shop just to make sure that the sudden right turn is a little more obvious. Then we come out to the front and use a little trick I figured out. I wanted this planter to be a nice wood-lined feature, so I took the block called wooden siding panel that you normally find lining waterways and line a few blocks since they only stand up against full blocks. Then, remove the blocks inside and replace it with your planters for a cute little wooden feature. I also extend the walkway out a little bit with our extra stepping stones we picked up. Now is the time to fix our open-air ceiling. As you can see, it's a mess. I remove all the blocks we placed, including the one visible on the side, and replace all of them with plasterwall. Much better. To fix the gaps between the ceiling and walls, we're going to add bridge planks to this area as well. I won't lie, placing these blocks above you is rough, and you'll see me struggle with it a little bit. Grab all the downstairs lights and we'll start brightening up the outside of the build. After that, we'll grab the string lights for the greenhouse and a cute berry light for the shop. Also just grab the rest of the materials for the build as we've officially moved on to decorating. I imagine this water basin is used for watering the downstairs crops and flowers. I also wanted to plop a signpost here, indicating that there is an upstairs level. The front area I really wanted to feel like an eclectic open-air market, so we have berries, plants, and shrubs lining where you enter. I also think they'll probably sell some small trees and indoor plants too, so we'll throw down a few to look like they're well stocked. A shop like this is always going to have limited time to unpack stock, so I leaned heavily on the use of crates, and I imagine the sandbags to be mulch and fertilizer for sale. Now we're placing the greenery. Honestly, any plants would work here, and I wanted to showcase the variety of plants that Pokopia has, so you'll only see a few plants repeated here. The secret terrace is no exception for lots of plants. It's a little weird that the shrubs aren't on dirt, but I'm just pretending they have secret concealed planters in the ceiling, because why not? While we're up here, I place another potted plant in the small amount of seating. You'll see a little habitat actually activates. place this fun partition feature, you'll need to put a solid block in place of one of these hedges and connect the blocks from there, then replace the hedge. Up in the greenhouse, let's liven the area up with some crates, mulch, and fertilizer, and other storage features. We're also making cute little crop markers by putting frames up against the glass walls. They're not perfect, but they work. These flower cushions from the Hop Hip event are adorable and can be painted. So I, of course, made a rainbow set, and I'm just putting them around the greenhouse for cute little places to sit. Now we're putting up the string lights, and it's a little tricky to place them at first, but once the first one of each string is down where you want it, the rest are a breeze. Time to till all the soil so we can put our crops down. Inside the shop, I decided since I love the pink grass that it would be a future plant for sale. We're going to have a back counter and a customer-facing counter, but I wanted the parts of the counters that touch the walls to extend into the wall, instead of acting like an island that doesn't reach the whole way. The way to fix that is to replace the wall block with a counter, then destroy the extra counter and put back the wall. The counter won't snap back to an island, and I have my fully extended counters. And yes, the Pokemon in your town will go in the shop and sell things. I already had a few do that, and it's so cute. Because of that, if you want them to be able to sell things, leave the customer-facing counters empty so their stock can appear. How cute is the blossom pattern for a garden shop? The rest of the decorating is mostly putting up vine decorations in dense vine blocks to make the greenhouse shop look, well, green. I wanted some vines hanging down, so similar to some other tricks we've used. We just need the vines to start on a solid block and then use temporary full blocks for what dangles down, even if we'll be destroying those in a minute. Let's speed up the rest of these now that you have an example. Now I'm filling the canals with water, which results in the disastrous flooding underneath. Thank goodness that Pokopia water doesn't destroy items. Let's put our mini generators on solid ground this time. Lastly, the shop was looking a little dim, so I added this overhead light for nighttime. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching my greenhouse shop build. If you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, I'd be so thankful if you'd leave a like, tell me your thoughts with a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more build videos like this in the future. I can't wait to show you what I create. Bye for now.